Donors from the European Union have cited pressure from a string of crises, especially in the Horn of Africa. The EU, the largest donor after the US, is currently operating humanitarian aid missions in Somalia, Sudan, Chad, the Democratic Republic of Congo, and South Sudan. Although its humanitarian agency has operated on the continent for the past 25 years, providing humanitarian aid to African crises. You know, when I read things like this, sometimes I hold myself not to laugh because it's not funny. Because when they come, they say they are providing aid. These are not aid. These are indirect bribe. Sometimes this aid, they are not even going to the local communities and giving it to the people that really need it. They are now giving it to the oligarchy or people that are working with them. Those ones are now giving it to the people they prefer or to the selected few. Or some of them are even selling the so-called aid items to people to get money out of it. And for crying out loud, these 25 years, they said they have been providing humanitarian aid to African crisis. It is only God that know all the riches they have looted out of Africa in these 25 years. Because these countries don't go where they don't have anything to benefit. How can they be using their taxpayers' money to be running humanitarian aid agencies if they are not getting far more than they are putting in from their taxpayers' money in these charity organizations? Africans are getting wise day by day. We are now understanding that these are no longer aid. These are just indirect bribe that when I need something out of your country, you will not have the conscience to say no to me. That is the case. Because any country that has nothing where these people will benefit from, they will never go to those places to give aid. They only go where there is something to profit out of. So at the end of the day, just like life is about interest in all totality, for them it is about interest. It's about the natural resources. It's about all the riches of Africa they are hoping to get out of Africa to keep developing their country, to keep transiting to greener technology, to the detriment of these African countries. But as number of conflicts arise and natural calamities mount, the Director General of the European Civil Protection and Humanitarian Aid Operations, ECHO, said the pressure is setting in even on agencies that had usually sent its share for response. For us, there is no such thing as forgotten crisis. We remain engaged everywhere. You will remain engaged everywhere as long as there is something to keep benefiting out of there. Sometimes some of these aid agencies are even more of underground soldiers, that these countries are going there to get them information to know what to get out of these countries, to know how to manipulate and exploit the people to get what they want. That's why you see that some of the countries, especially these countries where the junta leaders has taken over in Africa, or any leaders that understand these principles well, don't allow these aid agencies to come in. They don't approve such aids. They don't allow such food soldiers or food spies that are coming in as aid agency workers to coming into their country, because they want to control every information that are coming in going out of their country, or whosoever is coming into their country. Are they really coming in for the purposes in which they say they are coming in, or they have a different thing under their sleeves? But we feel the pressure as well. The budget for humanitarian need is slowly going down worldwide, and we are desperately seeking new donors. However, there aren't many takers. So you keep seeking for new donors now. Is quite understandable because the numbers are going down. But me as a person, I just pray that the gods of Africa, every gods of the lands of Africa, will keep waking our people up. That our people will keep waking up and start breaking these remaining invisible chains, and start our mental emancipation, so that we can start liberating our various lands and our continent. Yes, because at the end of the day, it is our own that they are taking out of our countries. We are the one losing, while they are the one that is on the gaining side, developing their countries out of the loots and the riches they are taking out of Africa. Overall, humanitarian agencies, include the UN, say regions like the Horn of Africa will need at least 10 billion by September this year to attend to various crises such as floods, insecurity, displacement. While the UN last month put up a funding appeal for $5.5 billion to attend to the biting drought in South African regions. We know that in countries like Zimbabwe, Malawi, and Zambia, they are facing serious issues with the drought there. But they are trying all they can to be able to handle the situation, which is not very easy. And in situations like this, I appeal to African countries who can equally help them in any way they can to help them, because no help is very small. The Horn of Africa has about 30 million people in need of assistance, with Somalia, Sudan, South Sudan, and Ethiopia mostly affected due to recent crises. So, these three countries is where mostly the 30 million people that need assistance come from: Somalia, Sudan, South Sudan, and Ethiopia, who are affected by the crisis. But the truth of the matter is that African countries, African continent, can do well by being their brother's keeper. Because any aid that is not coming outside of Africa to African countries, there are higher interests that are under the table. They are not giving you these things for free. There's nothing that is free in this life. That is the truth. There is a saying that nothing goes for nothing. So, the earlier African countries unite, be their brother's keeper, have a way of generating aid within Africa, has a way of generating fund within Africa. That is the day Africa will start flourishing far beyond the expectations of the West.